win on Instagram in a place that everyone is getting their ass kicked. I am here with one of the agents that is straight killing the Instagram game.
Damn, that's a good intro right there. I like that.
But if people are following you, they know that you are.
Yep. That's true. Well, I mean, that's, yeah, I don't want to say yet, but I mean, I like it.
I'll say it for you.
All right,
yeah.
I'll take it. Thank you.
Most agents, when they talk about real estate, they make it very boring. Like,
very boring.
Just listed, just sold, and there.
Yeah.
But the way you're doing it, we'll talk about, I'm really impressed, and I see it having an effect on your business.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Excited to do this one with you. So why don't we both riff off a couple of ideas that have helped us grow our Instagram.
Okay.
What's the first thing you got?
Instagram growth. I think giveaways are probably the best things you can possibly do, right? You go find an influencer either in the industry or your local community, grab a coffee shop or a restaurant, you go buy a gift card to that restaurant, and then you do a giveaway to your following, right? But to enter, you have to follow the page, your page, like it, and comment. Something like that. So it's a really engaging post, and then Instagram thinks, hey, this is a really engaging post, I'm gonna show it to more people. Plus, then you get in touch with the coffee shops, public or whatever, and then they'll repost it for you too. That's been one of the best ways to grow like an organic following.
So you'll just go to a local shop, you buy the gift card, you give it away. How often will you do something like that?
Like once a month, like not
that,
super,
dude.
you know what I mean? Because you don't want to get too, I don't want to just be like a spammy giveaway page, but that's just to keep engagement going. That's one of the best ways that people ask, how did you get a big following? That's a big way to get followers right there.
I love it.
Yeah.
And definitely on that same note, what I realized is when I look at pages and if what's going to determine if I follow the page or not is two things. One, do I like the content? But if content is great, but followership is low, the chances of me following that page naturally just go down. But if the content's good and it's big following, I'm like, holy shit, this must be something I have to follow.
There's like a social proof aspect of it that if you have a lot of followers, that probably means that a lot of people like that page. So it's like okay to like that
Fear
page.
of missing out. What am I missing out?
For sure, 100%. Yeah, I get it.
I love that. So one of the things that I'm doing as a second tip for you is for a couple years, I was just posting and the only insights I was looking at was my likes. So if I had a post, and I actually have an example on a presentation I do, I had one post that was all branded up and everything, killer looking post, got 2,200 likes. I had another post, similar, but less ego driven, and that one had 1,200 likes. So on the surface, what most of us do is we say, oh, this type of post that got 2,200 likes is better than this one that got 1,200. But then when I looked at the insights, no BS, the one that had 2,200 likes got me 0 new followers. The one that had 1,200 likes got me almost 150 new followers.
100%.
So what does that say? Is you have to look at the insights so that you know what the user actually wants to see to convince them to, one, like the image, then go to your page and follow the image. So looking at your insights gives you the ability to find the winners, and then what I'll do with those winners is I'll boost those individual posts that have gotten me a lot of likes and maybe throw 20, 30 bucks at boosting that post. And I'll end up getting more likes for 20, 30 cents a like, which in Instagram world is almost free.
Yeah, that's great. And I think likes and followers are like the vanity metrics of Instagram. They don't tell the whole story. You got to look at comments and then follower accounts based on posts. Those are the real engagement.
And the nice thing about insights is also it'll tell you how much of your impressions came from hashtags.
It's true.
So if you're like Jason and I, you're not just using any old hashtags, you're using hashtags on purpose. I look at hashtags as like the Google search of Instagram.
Correct,
So what hashtags are causing my audience that likes my stuff to find me and convert with me? So when you see that you're getting a post has a lot of engagement from hashtag search, then you know your hashtags that you've used are probably on point.
That's it, 100%. Instagram tactic number 3 for me is the Instagram story swipe up ad. And for those of you who don't have 10,000 followers, don't worry, you don't need 10,000 followers to do an Instagram story swipe up. So what I'm talking about is actually going into Facebook on the back end and creating a new campaign and then deselecting Facebook and Instagram feed and audience network. So only Instagram stories is left. And then whatever you create there is actually an Instagram story swipe up ad because it's going to show up in the Instagram story feed of everybody who's in your target demographic. Only Instagram stories though, so then you can create your content in vertical on 9x16 and then say swipe up at the end because that's the only place it's going to show is Instagram story swipe up ads. And then you lead them to a landing page or do whatever. So like I had I have a buyer letter, so you send out when you have a buyer. I had that in La Jolla and I said, Hey La Jolla, what's up? It's Jason Cassity. I have a buyer looking in your area up to $2.5 million. We've seen everything on the MLS. If you have anything coming soon or you're thinking about selling, swipe up, insert your address, let me know. I ran it for $100, had 22 people swipe up, and I had 2 people leave their address, stayed in touch with one. It's a $4 million listing in La Jolla. So from a $4.80 Instagram story swipe up ad.
That's like a 1,000% return.
Yeah, I mean, more than that probably by the time you calculate out
That's
the commission
awesome.
on that. And so it's nuts. Instagram story swipe up ads. All of our clients use Instagram stories. We know that, but the real estate community isn't there yet.
And really the biggest hack of that hack is that you don't have to have 10,000 followers, because if you go on the ad manager side
of Facebook,
yep, just by default of running an ad, they give you the swipe up function.
Correct, because that's how you get to a landing
that.
page from Instagram stories is you swipe up. Yep.
That's good. Major win.
Boom.
Number 4 tactic that I have for you is I realized, much against the will or the desire of my ego, that for me, the images that are performing the best have nothing to do with my face and a quote on top of it, right? We all look at Gary Vee and we're like, well, if it's working for Gary, it must work for me. I really believe that the Instagram world is tired of facing quote type images. Yep. So I started to test with real information-based infographic type images. Yeah. Where I'll test, I'll share my all-time best post ever, had nothing to do with me. It was just a post that said, objection handler, the other agents said they would do it for 1%. Yeah. And then how to handle the objection. Yeah. So I did that thing, it got bookmarked almost 200 times, got me a few hundred followers, tons of engagement, ended up on Discover feed. Yep. Why is that? It's because I gave my audience what they wanted as opposed to what I wanted them to want, which is a picture of this ugly mug and a quote. No. Yep. So when you look at your insights, which we talked about on step number 2, you'll end up seeing that the stuff that is real information and real value as opposed to ego is always, at least for me, performing way better than the rest. So consider taking thoughts, strategies, ideas, jumping into Canva app, which is free, and creating nice infographic type images so you can actually serve your audience with something that they can win with.
That's money. Money. Yeah. Good.
Cool. So look, I hope you got value out of this. If you're not yet following Jason, go to Instagram, Jason Cassity. Yep. What is the handle?
Jason_Cassity.
You can also follow me at the number 9th0, the 90. Thanks for tuning in. Do us a solid, like, comment, share. We'll see you on the next one.